Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
You got a suit? Then suit up.
You look so tired. There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Wake up! It's pretzel day!
Morning. Today's forecast calls for blue skies.
Good morning, Krusty Crew!
Are you ready to go crazy?
I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me.
Live from the campus of Liberty University, it's time for the Get Up and Go Show.
Welcome inside of the 90.9 The Light studio on the campus of Liberty University. This is your Get Up and Go Show. My name is Amy G. I am your host, and I'm here with these beauties, Rachel, Garrett, and Josh, right? Yep, Garrett and Josh returning from last Thursday. And Josh, you're a newbie on the show. How you doing?
I am awesome. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I got a fresh pair of contacts in my eyes today.
Really?
You know, only Jesus gives us new life, technically, but contacts, I think, are a distant second because it just feels like a whole new world when I
Right.
have new contacts in. But yeah, I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Doing pretty well. A little early for me, but it's okay.
Oh, there you go.
Doing pretty well. It's a little early for me, but it's okay.
It is really early. I'm going to have to start getting adjusted to this. Driving, coming in, it's like dark in the morning. It's crazy.
Yeah. Are you not a morning person?
I'm not a morning person. I don't mind getting up early. I would just prefer, honestly, to wake up at noon and go to bed at midnight and just keep that sort of schedule.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I feel that.
Yeah, I don't. I usually get up about 5 every morning, except for on the weekend. So.
Wow, that is discipline right there.
Well, see, like I try to stay disciplined, but at the same time, I don't get that much sleep. So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
That's like the New Year's resolution that everyone has that no one actually commits to.
No, honestly, I have to put my alarm across the other side of the room because it forces me to get up because I don't want to sit and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
If I put my alarm next to me, I'm just gonna be sitting. I'll hit the snooze button and go right back to bed. So
That's a really smart tactic, though.
it took about 3 years to figure that out. So
Is there like a reason you wake up at 5? Like, is it workout, devotion, then class kind of thing?
I go to the gym,
Okay.
then do devotionals, and then go to class. So it
Gotcha.
just works out, and it's easier than doing it in the evening when every place is really crowded.
That's true.
What about you guys, morning people?
I've learned to like never underestimate the power of like my sleeping because if I have the choice, I just like won't get up. It's really bad.
Oh, no.
I'll just like slumber eternally. It's pretty bad. So I would have to say I'm definitely more of like a night person. I like hibernate. You feel me?
I feel that.
Yeah. So
That's completely understandable. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I function better at night. Like, I can get more homework done.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
Really?
just in general
weird.
happier at night than in the morning. But that means I have to go to the gym in the evening when everyone goes, and you have to wait for something for like 5 minutes because there's like 400 people at the gym.
That's the thing that always gets to me because I've noticed I've been here for about 2.5 years now, and whenever you go to the gym, there's these little groups of people that place all of their workout equipment or gear like next to these different machines, but then they'll all hover in the center and just talk for about 10 minutes. But if you go over to that station that they put their stuff at, they jump on it immediately. So I just find it easier to go in the morning when they're all gone. You don't have to deal with them.
No, I don't know about that
That's
because
smart.
like my one of my friends, he wanted me to go and work out with him in the morning, which meant getting at the gym at like 6:15, and that was just like too much, especially because when the buses aren't running and you have to like walk all the way from Commons. It was
Yeah.
a nightmare. You get there and there's like already like a bunch of people there. I was like, this place is gonna be dead, but like everybody's like up and out. It's crazy.
Especially for college students, I'd expect
Yeah.
that to be dead empty until
Yeah.
probably like 2 in the afternoon.
And it was terrible. Like, speaking of, like, he just, like, either I never showed because I set my alarm for, like, PM instead of AM, or he never showed. It just wasn't a good time. So, long story short, I don't go to the gym in the morning anymore. So,
That's fair.
so
That is fair. Yeah, I was thinking, like, this is about the same time I woke up for high school, like the same time I woke up this morning. I was like, how did I do this in grade school for 12 years? Like, wake up this early and do 6.5 hours of school. I genuinely don't know how I survived.
that's where homeschool is awesome. You just kind of wake up whenever.
That
Yeah,
is
so
so
it's kind
nice.
of taught me to appreciate sleeping in, you know.
Really? So were you homeschooled the majority of high school or some?
So I went to like a private school through grade school, and then the school closed down and through 7th grade. So 8th grade through senior year, I was homeschooled. So I liked it a lot, you know. So
I feel like that's every kid's dream is to have their school closed down. I don't think I've ever heard of a school. Did it essentially like go out of business?
It was like a tiny like private school, so like I
Okay.
guess they just ran out of funding or something. So
That's kind of like hearing that a McDonald's goes out of business or like a Walmart going out.
That's true.
That's like
Yeah.
so unheard of. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's dream.
my class was like
Wow.
4 people, including
4
myself.
people?
Oh my gosh.
I feel bad for the person at the bottom of the class.
Yeah, there was one girl in like all of us, and all like 4 of us. But I mean, like still, yeah.
How many people did you graduate with? Like,
Well, I didn't graduate, so I mean, like,
I mean, in general, like your graduating class.
Well, that's what I mean. Like my entire class was just like straight up 4 people. So
I mean, like with high school, like when you graduated high school, or were you homeschooled after that?
You didn't
Well-
do any sort. I think he's asking if you did like a co-op
Oh,
where you
no,
graduated,
it was just straight up
you
just
walked
me.
with other people.
Okay.
no, just straight at me. I was the
Gotcha.
valedictorian in my
Nice.
class. So.
Yeah,
One of one.
Yeah.
that's very true. What about you guys? How many people did you graduate with?
I think the final was 205 in my
205?
class.
What about you,
Yeah.
Rachel?
I think 9.
9.
All right. Okay. See?
Oh my
That's
word.
close. Mine-
Did you go to a small school too?
I actually was basically homeschooled. I did like I did different classes and stuff, and then the kind of co-op thing that I graduated with had like 9 people in it. So that's who I graduated with, and it was pretty fun. We had a donut wall.
A donut wall?
What's a donut
Wait,
wall?
explain this donut wall. I didn't need
Well,
to
it
hear.
has like little what are they called?
Donuts.
No, yes, but
good
that's
guess.
not what I was thinking of. It's like not hooks, but if there's a wall and it's just like a little thing sticking straight out that you can hang donuts on, and there was like 100 of those. So there's just
I've
like-
never seen that before, but I'm kind of feeling like we should get one in the studio.
I'm
love
very
that.
open to suggestions. You guys might, the listeners can't see it, but we have a Little Tykes basketball hoop in the corner of our studio. If you don't know what a Little Tykes basketball hoop, it's a plastic kids hoop that you can basically feel good about your basketball skills because you can dunk on it,
Amen.
even if you're 5'3" like me. So it kind of makes you feel better about yourself. But yeah, here at the 90.9 sports department, we have a fantastic sports director who takes all our suggestions. So we brought in a Little Tykes hoop. But I think we should add the donut wall.
Yeah,
I
Donut
like
wall?
that idea.
I'm an advocate for that. I like that.
yeah, it was
so-
pretty great.
So note to self: add the donut wall and string lights in the studio.
Yes, we are. The lights are coming eventually. I'm deciding where we should put the donut wall in here. Where's it?
Put it
good
right
place
underneath
for
the
it?
clock and just have it go straight down. That way it looks
Ooh,
symmetrical.
Okay, I like that. Who's in charge of planning this? Because I'm not good at these kind of home. I'll bring the donuts. I'll make the donuts actually.
Oh, so
How does one
homemade
even like
donuts.
make donuts?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they need
I
to be
love
gluten
making
free and
donuts.
vegan for me.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was
God.
about to
I was like, okay, cool.
I never know what to say when people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm vegan." Like, there's nothing
know
wrong with
so
it. There's
many
actually like a
vegans.
lot of like nutritional and like dietary benefits to it.
It's just
But
difficult.
I don't
it
think I could
restricts
ever.
your diet so much. Yeah, my friend from my hall is very strictly vegan, except for honey, which
That
I
is
have.
a lot of discipline, though.
Yeah, it is a ton of discipline. She never cheats. I like everyone else that says they're vegan. I feel like there's a lot of girls that are about college age and decide to go vegan, but then every once in a while they'll be like, I need some mac and cheese or some chocolate or
That's
some ice
understandable,
cream.
though.
Yeah.
Bend but not break.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you can almost trust like a vegan, like as a friend.
No,
the
no,
most.
okay,
Oh.
okay.
'Cause
I
there's-
have
but,
bad
like,
experience
they have
with
so
vegans.
Much discipline, so you
Okay,
can trust them.
so here's the thing. I'm okay with you being vegan, but like if you like impress like your veganness
like
onto me,
narcissistic-
like
Yeah.
like
they're
you
superior
have like
kind of thing.
superior because you eat like healthy beans or whatever you eat.
Tofu.
Like, yeah, tofu. I'm just like, okay, well, great. I eat junk.
Whenever, because I usually try and eat healthy, but whenever somebody says that they're vegan, I instantly feel like I need to be quiet because I hunt. So I instantly feel like they're gonna judge me if
Oh,
I say
yeah,
that
yeah, I feel that.
I hunt because a lot of times whenever I've come across someone that's a vegetarian or vegan, and I've said that I hunt, I just feel like judgment in the room, whether they say it or not. I just feel like internally they're thinking like, why do you slaughter innocent animals?
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like they're just. I feel like I'm offending a lot of people right now, but I mean, I feel like a large majority just like judge me for like what I eat, and I just don't feel comfortable.
You know, I don't ever think I've met a vegan, but I could have guessed that you hunted because of your 434 area code.
Really?
What high school did you go to around here?
So I went to, it's called Faith Christian Academy.
We used to play you guys in basketball all the time.
You probably won then because our
We did.
basketball team was really bad.
Yeah.
You went to LCA, right?
Yeah, I went to LCA.
Yeah, we actually quit playing you guys in basketball because we'd always lose. The rumors that we had was that LCA always cheated and used college players on their basketball team because they were so big, and that's what we said to make us feel better.
They recruited for a little bit, but then we moved into the Seminole district.
Really?
And then the recruiting ends.
Yeah, I went to Faith Christian. I had a graduating class of 12.
Oh wow, is that the kind of school where like everyone hunts at like 6 a.m. before they come to school?
No.
Okay.
What kind
There's
of
some
school is
around
that?
here, Amherst County and like
Yep.
Nelson County. A lot of people they'll hunt
Mm-hmm.
before and then come into school.
Yeah, see, I actually did that a couple of times, but that's just me personally. I mean, the town that I grew up in, I kind of stand out because it's definitely a little hick town where everyone looks the same. Camouflage hat, skull ring in the back pocket, like everything. So
enlighten me,
funny.
like how early do you have to get up for hunting before school?
before school. So if school, see, I never did it before school because we had a dress code. So if I walked in wearing my hunting gear or like a quick change, I would still get in I'd probably get in trouble. But we had a school event or something like that where we had to be there at 9 because I'm not going to hunt for just an hour. I feel like that'd be a bit of a waste. But I usually get up at 5 because it doesn't get light until about 6:30-ish. So I'd be in the stand at about 6 o'clock. And that one day that I went to school, I hunted until about 8:30, so about 2 hours. And then I went to school, so...
Dang.
That's discipline. Speaking of discipline, all three of you guys were here before me, so way to be more disciplined than me. All right, guys, we're going to go to a quick break. Thanks for tuning in. This is Free by Sterling Davis. Welcome back into the 90.9 The Light Studios for your Get Up and Go show. Guys, we talked about getting a donut wall the last segment. So I took to Pinterest, of course, like any good female would, to get ideas. And some of these donut wall ideas are insane and very creative. And Rachel, I think that, are you artistic? You look like you'd be artistic.
I guess so. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna create a board of like 20 of these, and we're gonna do this. Okay.
So you're just
I'll
leaving
try
us
to
out
channel-
of it. I get it. So
Hey, you guys can do like the carpentry part,
The
and we'll do the
carpentry.
decorating.
what makes you think I know carpentry?
He is
Guys,
a ballerina.
That's
Yeah, I'm a ballerina,
I
dude.
cut,
Like,
I
what
cut
do
my
you
body in
expect?
half with this
Why don't
saw.
they call him
What?
ballerinos when it's a boy?
It's actually called like a cavalier or something, but it's just more fun to say
Really?
ballerina.
Dude, that is honestly the
degrading.
coolest thing
That
ever
is
that you
pretty
do
cool.
ballet.
Did
Did ballet, okay. But
Oh,
you
you did?
still
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
if you were to get your ballet shoes back on, would you still be decent at it? Or are
I
you
think
too
I'd
far
know
removed?
what to do, but my body would just not happen. Yeah. But
Hate it when my body doesn't happen.
okay, you know what I mean. I just can't English right now. It's like that's why I don't know like any other languages because I'm still working on English right now, just trying to get it
Me
down.
too.
You know,
It's
yeah.
great when your brain can't do like the one thing it's supposed to do and say words, but I guess it kind of has a lot to do.
But that always happens at the most inconvenient time. So your brain could work any other time of the day, but whenever you need it the most, it
That's
shuts
true.
down. At least
That is
for
true.
me. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm just unlucky.
it's whenever somebody says like, "Hey, how are you?" and I'm like, "Good, you doing?" And then I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, it's terrible.
Well, in other news, so Liberty men's basketball still killing it. Tonight they have a really, really big game. 7 p.m. tip-off in the Vine Center. They're playing Lipscomb from Nashville, Tennessee, and both of these teams are undefeated in the ASUN Conference. So this game has high implications on who might get that automatic bid for the March Madness. So everyone, if you're in the Lynchburg area, come out and cheer the Flames on, because if they win the ASUN, they can get into March Madness, and your bracket is going to be devastatingly wrong anyways. So why not just pick Liberty to go all the way? So, Josh,
Yes,
you had
ma'am.
an interesting Liberty athletic story,
Okay.
a personal Liberty athletic story.
I didn't tell you the full story. The end of the story is the best part. But when I was a freshman, I was just trying to figure out new things to get involved with and just how to do everything and just be more involved with the campus life because I didn't really know anybody starting off except for a couple people that I graduated with. And I got a handout at a football game one time to try out for Liberty men's cheerleading. And I figured, hey, why not? I did a lot of lifting in high school. I still lift. Why not give it a try and just see how it goes? Because they have scholarships that you can get there where you get a discount on tuition. And it just seemed like it'd be something cool to try out. So I went for the first tryout. I was polite, talked to the coach, got to know him a little bit. And then I went to the second tryout. And after the second tryout, I received a personalized email from the coach himself telling me not to come back to tryouts.
Oh my gosh.
He told me
A personalized email.
yes, it was directly to me
Oh,
from the coach.
no.
He said, I appreciate your interest, but it will not be necessary for you to come back to tryouts
Oh
anymore.
my gosh, that's
We're
rough.
looking and
Wow.
No, the second part, he said we are looking for individuals that are either more athletic in the sense of being able to do certain things like tumbling, so the different flips and
Okay.
turns, or we are looking for individuals that are stronger. But thank you for your interest anyways.
Wow. So it went that bad, huh?
And well, what's funny is after the next semester, I think it was, or sophomore year, they posted, it was right on the Jumbotron in Vine Center before convocation, that they were men's cheerleading tryouts, no experience needed. So I guess that they really needed more. And I just crossed my arms. I said, I'm not going back. I'm not
Oh
doing that.
no. Did you do what sports did you do in high school?
I did. It's called Muay Thai, but it's basically
Muay Thai. That's just like another kung fu thing, right?
It's actually no. It's basically kickboxing, but with elbows and knees incorporated into it. So
all these martial arts. You mentioned you like the UFC and the martial arts. All of it just seems the same to me, but go ahead and enlighten us.
It's another kung fu thing, right?
no, it's basically have you ever watched anything from UFC?
I've
or
seen
any...
Kung Fu Panda. I don't know if that counts.
So that's very
I've
different.
also seen Rocky.
Rocky. Okay,
So-
so you got the
That's my experience.
So
in
take the
karate.
boxing part and then add kicks and throwing elbows and knees into the mix, and that's
Okay,
basically
so
it.
just take a violent sport and add a couple more violent things to
Sure,
it.
whatever floats your boat. But I did that for, I think, 3.5 years to 4 years, and I wish I could still do it. If I could, I'd do it every day, but it just requires a lot of time and a lot of resources, and I want to devote time to school, but if I could, I would do it. I'd love to do that every day. That was my favorite thing to do, and it was just a lot of fun.
Is there some sort of, I feel like we have club or like intramural or like everything, sport everything for Liberty. There's like paintball. I heard there's dodgeball.
This like we have like a LARPing too, which is a little
Do we
weird.
really?
A LARPing thing, yeah. That's what I'm told.
There's a friend that I have classes with. She's on the rowing team. There's a rowing team.
There's a rowing team?
I did not know
sign
that.
me up for that.
But where?
I don't know.
Where do
I
they
guess
row?
probably
I think it's on the Hideaway Lake.
the Hideaway. Okay, that makes sense.
No,
That's not that far.
it's actually not. They go
Really?
to they travel. They actually travel
Oh,
for
sign me up.
competition.
Did they get like out of classes with a note?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm joining.
Right, but are there practices at the Hideaway Lake? Maybe. I don't know. I feel
Maybe. I'm not sure.
If I've kayaked at least once in my life, do I qualify for being on this team?
Has experience.
I ran into a tree with a kayak on our senior retreat
Wait,
in
why
high
was
school
it-
last year.
How's
get hurt?
how's a
I
tree in
didn't.
the water?
Wait, what'd you say?
Wait, did you say you ran into a
I
tree
did.
with a
Yeah.
kayak?
I drove the kayak into the tree.
When I'm driving a kayak, it just goes
The
into a tree.
was like in the water. I don't know how to explain it. It was really weird. They have a crew. There's a team roster for rowing. In a schedule? Oh, this is awesome.
Team roster, schedule, everything.
So they're pretty official.
That is awesome.
It's like an actual sport.
There's men's and women's.
Is it a club sport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a club sport.
Oh, it is a club sport.
Their
I didn't know.
season extends from October to March. That's funny. I'm
That's a
going to
long
sign up
season.
for this rowing team.
Go for it.
You should.
Full support.
This is my new dream. It's like at the end of Tangled when Flynn Rider's like, You're my new dream.
Okay,
This
just
is-
throwing it
this
out there.
rowing
Flynn
is my new
Rider is like
dream.
my favorite like Disney prince, Disney
Disney
guy.
prince.
Disney.
Di- oh,
he's not
well,
even a. I don't even know.
I guess he is because he married Rapunzel, who's a princess. So I guess now
Yeah,
he's a
yeah,
prince.
you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, I don't know. I guess so. Who's your favorite?
Disney prince. Oh wow, this is hard. Flynn Rider's in the top 3.
Yeah.
Aladdin's in the top 3.
Okay, I
Aladdin's
see Aladdin.
great.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Aladdin, I love that movie. I'm not a big Prince Eric person or Prince Charming. They're kind of
Okay, don't hit me. Which one is Prince Eric?
Prince
what is he,
Eric
Little
is
Mermaid?
a Little
Ariel.
Mermaid.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I'm trying to think
At
of
that
other
point, none
movies.
of the princes really had personalities.
They're
I mean,
just like
Those back when-
Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty don't have that.
Oh,
big
the
of
Milan
personalities
Prince.
either.
I don't know his
Shang.
name. Yes, Shang.
Oh
He-
my gosh.
I
I
really
remember
like
that.
Milan.
That
That's a
was-
good movie.
That's a great movie. It's underrated, probably. At least I think it is.
Yeah.
I think they should have stopped at Mulan 1.
Oh, the
That's
second
just
one,
one.
isn't that ranked the worst sequel of all time? I've never
Probably.
seen it because I don't want it to ruin the
Yeah, same.
I didn't
Milan
think it
for
was
me.
that bad, honestly.
Really?
I just
I
feel like
enjoyed
with
it.
like it's like if they made like a Tangled 2 or Frozen 2, which I hear is possibly
the
coming, which should
Frozen
not.
2 is happening this December.
And I'm
Oh,
not happy
dear.
about it.
I'm seeing Star Wars instead. I'm not even worried about that Frozen.
I don't know about Frozen. I never watched Frozen all the way through.
Wow, don't.
I
just
just-
stop.
See, I
Save
babysit
yourself.
kids, so I've seen every single Disney movie over at least 10 times.
What's your favorite?
Oh, wow. Is this including Pixar movies and Star
That's-
Wars and Marvel, or like just Disney movies?
Just Disney. Like Pixar is separate.
Okay.
She hasn't even seen High School Musical.
I haven't
So.
seen High School Musical.
I'm in the same club. As
Oh
you. I haven't
my
seen-
Really?
gosh.
Oh, good. I'm not alone.
I haven't seen all
this
of
is
it.
amazing.
Maybe not alone in this room, but like alone in the world when it comes to this. It is.
That's a fair point. At least in our at our age level, we're probably the only people that haven't seen it.
My roommate, he's seen it. And of all the people, that shocked me that he's seen all 3 of them. Because he's very, I told you before, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. He loves like
okay.
old
we don't
country music.
speak
and,
of the Dallas Cowboys on this
Yes,
radio
we
show.
do.
Rule number 1 is we don't talk about politics because I can't stand politics. I do my civil duty once a year. I vote. I look up their policies. And then I ignore every politics thing for the rest of the year. Rule number 2 is we don't talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Rachel, I think you have a confession
I
over
would-
here.
I would like to contest that policy, actually.
It's
I
okay.
think unilateral
Hey.
decisions like that need to not happen.
Hey, this isn't a strict policy. We'll just let it
We'll let it
slip
slide.
under the rug that you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Josh, you said you were a Minnesota Vikings fan. You
I
actually
am.
had the courage to come out and say you were a Minnesota Vikings fan.
I am a Vikings fan. I'm always gonna say that. I like the team, even though I was pretty disappointed this season. But it's okay.
You're $84 million man, Kirk Cousins.
I don't talk about my $84 million man. I talk about how great of an offense we have, how great of a defense we have, and I don't mention our offensive line because we don't have one.
That is very accurate. You have no line whatsoever.
Part of me wonders if we had an O-line, if Kirk would perform better, but my roommate, who is a Dallas fan, kept hammering into me the entire season, your quarterback is not playoff material. And by the time we got to the end of the season, I believed him, just because he doesn't perform well under pressure.
That's true. Well, he has 2 years to redeem himself. But going back to the
That's
Disney
true.
movies, I've had time to think and make an executive decision. Honestly, I think Emperor's New Groove would have to be my favorite Disney movie.
Okay,
If
I
it's
vibe with
just
that.
Disney and not including the other franchises that they basically bought and just made their own little trinity of movie franchises, I'd have to say Emperor's New Groove.
Dude, my
Really?
sister and me are literally Yzma and Kronk. Like, they're literally my favorite thing ever.
That honestly though, I think the sequel to that might be the worst sequel I've ever seen.
Wait, hold on.
Of anything.
Yes,
There's a
actually,
sequel?
I agree.
The
That
Kronk's
was
New Groove.
that I
That
did not
movie
like
is
that.
horrible. I think it's on Netflix. I
Didn't
don't
he,
know.
like
I don't
own his
have
own
Netflix
like restaurant
anymore.
or something.
Yeah, it was like a restaurant and then his like little Squirrel Scout things.
Yeah. Oh,
it
you're
was
right.
so bad. Cars 2 was pretty bad too.
Oh, that was
I cannot stand that movie.
horrible.
The first Cars
haven't
is
seen-
iconic and
I love that
legendary.
movie so
I haven't
much.
seen that movie in like a really long time. I
Cars
don't.
3 was a good comeback.
I didn't see
Yeah,
3.
it
I
was
saw
better.
2. Did not think it was that bad, but it was
Really?
probably because I was little when I saw it. I don't know.
I was little when I saw it. I didn't even care because it had no connection to the first one at all.
Yeah, and it was more about the cable guy.
Mater.
Yeah.
Mater, yeah.
The cable
And
guy.
there was
But see, I love him
no
though.
Lightning McQueen in that movie.
When we go back to Disney movies, I feel like this is underrated, but mine's Hercules. I
That's a
adore
really good movie.
Hercules.
I've
I love
never
the
seen
music in that
Hercules.
movie.
You
Really?
should. It has a lot of really good
Okay,
music.
I'm gonna go home
Yeah.
and watch that later.
I feel like a lot of people. My girlfriend hadn't seen Hercules either, and I was like, we're sitting down and we're watching it. And
No, there's a lot
funny.
of like good Disney movies with just like a ton of good music in it. Like
Yes, absolutely.
yes.
Mulan
All
had
of
good
them.
music in it.
Have you seen Hunchback?
I've never
Long
Yes,
time ago.
they're making a live action, and I'm so
Really?
excited.
When?
If they change any of the songs, We March at Dawn. Like
Oh
they're
my
not
God.
allowed to change anything.
We March at-
because I love that movie.
Is it
I'm
just
so
me,
excited.
or do you feel like Disney has kind of lost their creativity because they're just making live reenactments
Okay.
of
Yes.
every single
Okay,
movie?
I was saying this before, but okay, so how they're remaking The Lion King, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I cannot watch Mufasa die twice.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know.
do it.
in
Well,
live action.
In live action.
That's what I
like,
was saying.
High definition HD.
But just that, but like, why can't they just, like you said, come up with like something new that's like the new icon instead of just like revamping like old series?
Okay, this is what I've heard. I don't know the validity of this, but apparently in Walt Disney's will, he said that every Disney movie was to be remade every 10 years so that each generation could experience the Disney movies.
I gotta check
which
this out.
every 10
Snopes.
That's
years is
interesting.
obviously a little bit ridiculous,
Yeah, that's
especially with those budgets and like casting and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I think that's why they remake them. Also because money, because those movies make
Yeah,
bank.
exactly.
Yeah. They
Oh.
did come out with Zootopia
Hold
and
up, I'm checking on
Inside Out.
Snopes.
Okay,
Inside
those
Out
are really
was
good
great.
movies.
Yeah.
Zootopia might be my second favorite behind Emperor's New Groove.
I
That
was
one's really
forced to
good.
watch
That was a good one.
Road to El Dorado over break.
Oh
I
my
hate that
goodness.
movie.
I've never seen.
I saw that once when I was like 5. I
See,
don't
all of
remember
my
anything
friends-
besides the guy had like blonde hair.
All of my
about
friends
it.
love
never
I mean,
saw
there's
it.
two of them, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 2, but the one
There's
guy
2
has
guys.
blonde hair. And I don't remember the other one.
Yeah.
And is it they look for like gold, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I have so many friends who are huge fans.
I have a great memory, obviously.
Sorry, I
You
just had a
look
moment.
like you have some kind of epiphany over here,
Okay,
Garrett.
I don't remember if this is Disney or not. I don't think it is. Have you all
Okay.
seen Treasure Planet?
Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet. I want to say yes, really bad.
Okay,
This
it's
is
like
different than Treasure Island.
it's like a Treasure Island, but like
On a planet.
On a
in
planet.
space.
Okay,
sounds
why
so
don't why don't
familiar.
you tell us about this? Because I've never heard of this.
Okay, well,
Is
it's,
this Disney?
I don't know. That's what I was
Okay,
trying to
I'm gonna
remember.
look it up.
It's either like
Treasure
DreamWorks or like
Planet.
I don't know. But in any case, so it's pretty much the entire plot of like Treasure Island, but like in space, and it's just I know I just said that, but
it is a Disney movie.
I do remember this.
It came out in
vaguely.
2002.
Yeah, it's-
Intergalactic Treasure
Yeah.
Hunt.
It reminds me of like the style of like Atlantis, like that kind of animation style.
Yeah.
But oh man, that's one of my favorite films.
Okay, next show on Thursday, we're just gonna watch this movie and commentate it on the show.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
All right, that sounds good.
It gives off a very steampunk type vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
That's really
So,
interesting.
Is there any like other older, like lesser known Disney movies that you guys like?
Gosh, that's a tough one because I mean, there's not a Disney movie that people really don't like. It's just with
Yeah.
all Disney movies, they're all just that great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't think of anything. I remember there was a second Little Mermaid. Do you guys remember?
Really?
that? There was
There's
a
a
second.
second Little Mermaid?
I
Isn't
think
it-
I've seen the cover, but I've never seen it.
It was Ariel's daughter.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
wait.
okay.
Isn't there a second Lion King as well?
There's a
Yeah.
Lion King
There's
1.5.
There's 3 of them.
Wait, what?
There's
Somebody's got
There's
to
3.
explain.
There's the Lion King, the first one, the original. There's Lion King 1.5, and then there's Lion King 2.
The Lion
Okay,
King 1.5
one
was
and a
like
half. It's not
Interesting.
really a movie. It's kind of like if you have a football game and then have 2 athletes go back and watch that game and just commentate it the whole time.
Really?
That's what it's like. It's like Pumbaa and Timon go back and watch the movie and live commentate it for
Oh,
you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not really like a movie, but yeah, they go back and they kind of give you like what they were doing when they're not on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of like added scenes into it.
They did a backstory.
Yeah, it was like a backstory, but it didn't really feel like a movie. It was funny. It was entertaining.
The second one was pretty good, I thought, where it was Scar's son.
Yeah,
I think it was.
yeah.
I enjoyed that one a lot.
As far as sequels go for iconic movies like that, it wasn't too bad.
The music was good, I thought.
Yeah.
With Mulan, the music, I don't know if you know this, but remember the one song, I'll Make a Man Out of You?
That's my
From
favorite
Mulan.
Disney song.
Yeah.
I found this because I got
So
the DVD
good.
and there was bonus content. Jackie Chan did a Chinese rendition of that song.
Really?
And it
That's
showed
cool.
him doing
what
a bunch of
can
martial
Jackie
arts.
Chan not do at this point? I feel like that's a question that needs to be asked.
He could do. He's 60 plus years. He still does his own stunts whenever he does
That's
films.
so crazy.
I watched like
so
a ton
cool.
of like behind the scenes stuff of him doing his own stunts. It's really cool.
It's insanity. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because he's a small man. He's very short, but he just jumping through windows and all of this different stuff. It's really crazy.
Jumping through windows. That is crazy.
Another
my
Disney
word.
series that I loved was Air Bud.
Yes.
The dog.
Oh my
Those are
gosh.
and, like the snowbud.
I was hooked on those.
Those were so adorable. Do you remember your favorite dog of all of them? Like the favorite puppy?
Well, so I more watched the original ones where it was just the Air Bud, like the dad of them.
Okay,
'Cause there
like
was,
the
I think you're thinking of
soccer-
Air
There's
Buddies.
There's Air Buddies, which is like his kids.
Oh,
'Cause
right,
there's
okay.
Football, soccer, volleyball, baseball. They did like basically
What's the
every
one with
sport.
the clown dude who tries to like get the dog back?
That was the original one.
Oh, it
Soccer?
is?
I
Okay.
think that was
It's like the
basketball.
Lassie of the millennials.
Oh, it is basketball, isn't
Lassie
it?
of
I think
Millennials.
so.
I
Right,
like
because
that.
he makes the game-winning shot, or the kid makes the game-winning shot, or something like that.
Something like
The
that.
dog inspires the kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something heartfelt
There
like
was-
that.
There was it was similar to Air Bud. Did you ever hear of MVP, Most Valuable Primate? It was
No.
a really old. It was basically Air Bud, but it was a monkey. Yeah. It was really.
That sounds like
Sounds
something
like-
I'd watch.
It was
Sounds like
cool.
some weird Curious George crossover.
It was live action.
Interesting.
It was really.
gosh.
It was really strange.
That is pretty crazy. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back and talk about some of the national days going on today. Don't go away. This is Different by Annis. All right, guys, welcome back to the 90.9 The Light Studio for Get Up and Go show. I'm Amy G, back with Rachel, Garrett, and Josh. So, guys, I don't know how well you're familiar with the national days of the day, but I personally think that most of these are hilarious and they're worthless most of the time, which is why they're so funny. So today is National Puzzle Day.
Puzzle
which
Day.
Hey,
is-
that's not worthless.
It is not. I actually grew up doing puzzles and like Sudokus
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
I'll-
crossword
I'll
book.
have
Y'all
to
are
tell my
alone in
sister.
that. That sounds like really
Really?
boring.
Okay, my sister is obsessed with puzzles. She's
Yikes.
almost 17, and she and my brother and my dad and my grandma have gotten into this weird obsession of puzzles and like 2,000 piece, and I like don't understand it all.
I just-
I sit down for like 5 minutes, and when I still haven't gotten a single piece, I'm like, this is just a trial and error exercise that is just discouraging me. Goodbye.
Yeah, I just feel like how can you find that much enjoyment from searching for like one piece and just like what
Yeah.
fits? I don't know. I guess it's cool when you finish it, but then like
Then you
what do you
have to
do
take it
with it?
apart.
Yeah, what do you do with it? You can't just leave it.
Frame it.
That's true.
Frame it.
I
Some
do.
people
I
do
did
frame
frame
it.
puzzles.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my
I
gosh.
did. I was obsessed with cats for years when I was little. Obsessed with cats. This is totally opposite of what I said last week. I
Yeah,
know.
I was like-
But then, one of my friends got a cat and it bit me, and then no,
It was all over.
Then it was all over, and the cats betrayed me, and I never liked them again. But I would have my mom would get me like a ton of puzzles of cats, and I would get so into the puzzles, and I would just sit there for hours and finish them, and then my mom would frame them. I don't know where they are now.
All right. Well, what about you, Josh? Are you dog gang or cat gang?
I'm allergic to cats, so I'm kind of dog by default. But at the same time, I love dogs.
That's what the Lord intended.
Yeah.
The Lord makes people allergic to cats for a reason.
I just like dogs better. I mean, then I also think not only are they a great pet, they're a lot more family friendly than cats are. Because
Yeah.
when you have a dog, it's like that dog lives in your house. But if you have a cat, it's basically you live in the cat's house. That's
Yeah.
how it comes
Yeah.
across, and they just seem so impersonal. But with dogs, they're just lots of fun. That and they're just, depending on what type of dog you get, they can be really great home defense too.
That's true.
Definitely not my dogs back home.
Really?
Yeah, they're just alarms. They're just very loud.
Are they little dogs or?
I mean, they're not like lap dogs. They're like one of those in between lap dogs and like regular dogs.
You said
they're
one's
like,
a mutt, right?
yeah, one's a
Okay.
I don't know. I think she's like a cattle dog mix, and then the other one's like a beagle lab mix. But they're medium sized, but they won't do anything. They just
Really?
bark a lot.
I wish I could bring my dog in here. He'd just sleep in the corner the whole time,
Yeah,
but
can that happen?
maybe. We'll see.
We have my family. We have a German Shepherd and we have a little Shiba Inu puppy right now.
Oh,
He's about
wow.
6 months old.
That's so
about
cute.
6 months. Yeah.
That's a fluffy dog, right?
Yeah, he's fluffy. I love the dog to death, but he gets into everything. He chews everything. I mean, he'll never leave anything alone. He chewed through my sister's headphones,
Oh
Yikes.
no.
That's a yikes.
but it's crazy.
Okay,
not
so
good.
like there's not typically like dogs in commons or anything or like anything like that.
Right.
But so I was just on my way. I hadn't like eaten all day. It was like 6 o'clock, and I was just going out to go eat. And there was a German Shepherd. Like somebody had brought their German Shepherd like into the hall, and I just didn't leave. It was the most amazing thing. Like if somebody just has a dog, I will stop whatever I'm doing and just go pet it. Like I don't care what I'm doing. I will leave class for a dog.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
a
a
mood.
giant poodle, and there was like a huge huddle of people just gooing, like, what is it, oohing and awing and gushing over over this dog. And I was like on my way to the riot, and I'm like, nope, don't have time to stop. I will not
Speaking-
be one of the basic college students that
You call
puts
me
dogs
basic?
over everything.
You call me basic?
Hey, Garrett's a guy and he did ballet. That's not very basic.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
true.
I
But
remember-
okay, being obsessed with dogs is a little bit phase-atic, in my opinion.
Depends on the dog. For me, it depends on the dog because I cannot do Chihuahuas. I
Okay.
cannot any type
Those
of
things
are
dog that's
of the
this
devil.
big.
People, the fight is against like the pit bulls and the Rottweilers, but I think the real fight should be against the Chihuahuas.
The Chihuahuas?
Because Chihuahuas are just flat out worthless.
Okay,
They're
that's a
mean,
little
too.
mean.
Rottweilers, they can actually
They're
be
so
really
yappy.
good. Rottweilers can be really good dogs. My mom
Yeah.
had one, and that was her best friend. But Rottweilers are very individualistic. So if you live by yourself, a Rottweiler is a great dog because anyone else, they don't really favor anyone else. So if anyone else was to, when my mom had this Rottweiler, if anyone else was to try and hurt my mom or do anything that dog didn't appreciate, then the dog would
Oh yeah, that's
violently
true. I know somebody
let
with a
them know.
Rottweiler. Yeah.
But they're super timid at the same time. There's one, my cousin has a shop that he goes to all the time to get his truck fixed and worked on, and the shop, they have a Rottweiler, just walks around, lives in the shop with him, and it was by far the calmest animal I'd ever met. It walked over to me, just this big muscular dog. I got intimidated at first. He just walked over, looked at me, and then put his head down for me to pet him. It just never barked anything. Super, super sweet.
Okay,
All
so
the more to like dogs more than cats.
okay, so what are y'all's thoughts on pugs?
Pugs.
Pugs.
Not a fan.
Okay, my dog has a pushed-in face too, like a pug, and he can't go outside in the summer like at all for
Why?
more than a couple minutes because they can't breathe very well. So it makes
yeah.
them kind of boring in the summer.
It's probably some kind of genetic deformity that happened.
Well, I know like
Yeah.
pugs were
100
like
years ago.
specifically. I know like pugs were specifically like bred for like royalty or something. Maybe that's. I gotta check that on Snopes or something. But
Yeah.
Snopes is gonna be our best
Snopes
friend on
come
the show.
through.
yeah. But I think they were like bred specifically to look a certain way, and then it was just like a failure, and then they just stayed.
I think they're cute, but I don't think I'd get a pug
Yeah.
as a like my personal pet.
I don't know.
They're okay. I don't know. I think that they're. Whenever I see the dogs with the squished in faces, the first thing that comes to mind is when the whole Noah's Ark thing happened and God had all of the two pairs of animals come together. There was, say, bulldogs, for example. There was the two pairs of bulldogs, and the male just ran straight face first into the side of the ark, and it just stayed that way. And then when they breeded, that's what they looked like from then on after. That's just,
Yeah,
that's
there's
what I
only one
think.
problem with that. You know, that it wasn't actually built into its, genetic makeup.
Yeah,
So
that-
it
you got
wouldn't
holes-
have
you got
passed
holes
on
in
to
sounded
the
a little bit
holes in the,
evolutionistic over there. I don't know how well I agree with that. But while we're talking about national days of the day, so it's also National Corn Chip Day, and I would like to put out there that the best version of the corn chip is Bugles. Do you guys know what bugles are?
Mhm.
I think so. Are those just
Little
like
horn?
it
things?
looks
They're the
like an
little
actual
horns
like
that like
corn.
you put on your fingers when you were a kid and play with them.
Those were
Did
good.
you guys not do that?
I did
I
those
did.
with olives.
With all
Ew.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
you liked olives as a kid?
No, but I like putting them on my fingers.
I was about to say I don't know any kid that likes olives.
I still don't
I
like
loved
olives.
olives. Like black
Really?
olives. Yeah.
Well, I
I've
mean,
always
but
loved
like you
those.
never did like with the olives on
I
your fingers.
know, I'm not with olives. I kind of want to now.
We probably have fingers
Oh
like
my
too big now for like an olive.
no,
That's
I
true.
Can't, it's just the texture and consistency.
Okay, when you're a kid, it's just a fun thing. You know, you
Right.
just got like.
When I
Olive
did,
fingers.
yeah, when I lived in Florida and I did Awanas at my church, bugles was the snack like every other week. And I would always put them on my fingers and pretend like I had claws.
I never had those until high school.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never. What the snack that I always had when I was a kid was the Barnum's Animal House animal crackers. Do you
those
remember
Animal
are
crackers
good.
are addicting.
They
the box?
are.
But it had the
I don't like
string
'em.
back in the day.
What? Wait. You tried to sneak that confession in there. You gotta speak up, Garrett.
Okay.
You gotta speak up.
I just feel like they're like one of those like snacks that are just so dry that if you don't have something with them, they're just like. I just don't like them. Is that a crime?
It
Well,
it
will
might
force
be.
you to
Maybe.
hydrate yourself by drinking water.
No, I know
That's
that,
true.
but I'm saying like.
Do you not like
They're
I
trying
feel
to
like
pretzels
keep you
either?
healthy.
What?
Do you not like pretzels either?
No, I
So
don't.
you're saying
Okay.
that if you're gonna eat something dry like a shortbread type texture, there has to be like a moist component with it.
Yes, very much
Okay.
so, but I'm just not a big fan. It's just like I don't know. I mean, they look pretty cool.
Oh
I mean,
man, I think you're the first person I've ever met to say that they didn't like animal crackers.
wow.
What's
That
your take on
specific-
Oreos then? Do you like
Oh,
Oreos?
I love Oreos though.
Okay, I saw an ad for they had like the double stuffed and the mega stuffed, and now
They
there's
have-
like
there's-
ultimate stuff.
I was
that's
at
like an
Walmart
inch
the other day.
thick
Like
or
an
something
inch
like
thick
that.
or something like that, or
It's-
half an inch.
I feel like that's just too much at that point, personally.
It's probably
I
like
really want to try
150
these. I'm
calories
gonna
a
bring
cookie.
these in on Thursday.
Oh my
Can you?
gosh.
Oh my
I'm
God.
bringing them in. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna get our energy from Oreos
And
at
it-
7 in
And
the
then
morning.
crash it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's sugar rush. Because when I feel like we all did this when we were kids. When we were kids, we would take the Oreo, we'd pop the top off
Yep.
it and lick the icing off it and throw the
Throw
cookie
the
away.
cookie away.
Throw the
Yep.
cookie away.
But now that I'm older,
uh-huh.
I like the cookie more than I do
Yes.
the icing, honestly.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
The
I
I
haven't
icing is
rarely.
gotten to
almost
that
too
phase.
sweet sometimes.
That's what I mean. Like the one with like all the stuffing is stuffing. What do you call it?
The-
Icing.
know.
The icing,
Icing
the
is just
filling,
filling.
the
That's-
filling,
that's
the
the
cream
word.
filling. There
It's
we
just
go.
it's too
Yeah.
much. It's just nah.
I just words getting to you.
Yeah. You ever just like? Did you ever like put like the cream like? Did you ever like make a hybrid Oreo of like two
No.
Oreos put together?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Stuff like 8 in your mouth at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever like take like 5 or 6 cookies and take all the icing out and then stuff it all in one?
That's what I was saying.
Oh, that's what you were
I
saying.
never did
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I just couldn't
Yeah.
English.
I
I
got
still
you.
can't.
Hey, words are hard.
I've been there. The other day when I was doing my talk segment, I was trying to talk about how I'm trying to eat cleaner, but I only like ranch dressing, but I couldn't get that out. So the only thing I could get out at the time was I was trying to describe how I don't like the low-fat, low-carb salad dressings, but I didn't know what to say, so I just blurted out salad sauce on live radio.
Salad sauce.
Yeah.
sauce. I mean,
No,
essentially,
we
that's
should, we
what
should
it
make
is,
a
though.
we should make a petition to call it salad sauce.
Okay.
I kind of like that salad
Yeah.
sauce.
It's better than
Alright.
salad dressing. Like
Hey,
Just
every
salad
every
sauce.
like word, like phrase that gets popular starts somewhere.
That's
so
very true. So
Started
that's gonna
on
be
the
new-
light.
That'll be the new trend.
yeah.
we have lots of great things coming out of the studio.
I
think- I think
Little
there
should be a
Tyke soup, a donut wall, and salad sauce.
I have
very
a
true.
question. How bad is ranch dressing for you? Because I really like it too.
Ranch is the nastiest substance on the planet.
Okay, you
and
don't
I will
like
No, no,
ranch?
never
no.
How does
understand
ranch?
it.
it
Wow.
I agree.
for you though?
How
So
does ranch
nasty.
relate to Caesar like health wise?
It's just ranch is just higher in fat. That's a lot.
I just don't
mainly
like
it.
ranch.
It's just
That would make
high in
sense.
fat. I like ranch and Thousand Island. Those are my two salad dressings
Thousand
I
Island.
like.
Is that the green one?
It's it is a orange type texture of.
Yeah.
salad
I'm-
dressing.
Okay, gotcha.
But I like that. I cannot do the vinaigrettes or the
Really?
balsamic,
Either.
balsamic
See,
vinegar.
the
on-
vinaigrettes and like the Italian
Yeah.
I can't.
salad sauce are the
Yeah,
only ones
salad
I really
sauce.
like.
I can do raspberry vinaigrette. That's about it. but
Yes,
it's just-
raspberry vinegar.
I don't get like the raspberry like flavored or like strawberry flavored like No, I can't do that. It has to just be like straight, like Italian. I can't do it.
I can't get into Italian. I've tried.
Anyways, so the third day of the day is plan your vacation day, which makes me think that we should plan a morning show vacation to go
Field
get
trip.
food the next break.
All right, sounds good.
If you guys could go anywhere, like any vacation, cost free, like situation free, no homework
Madagascar.
free, Madagascar.
Space.
You're still stuck on that Treasure Planet movie,
Yes,
aren't you?
definitely.
I'd be scared to go into space because what if
Yeah, me too. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What if the rocket shut down? Then you're just gonna die out there.
I hate when
That
the
sounds
rocket
so
just
gruesome.
shuts down while you're in space.
Yeah, it just,
Dang it.
The spaceship, it just breaks.
I
oof.
think there was some like space shuttle catastrophe that would their anniversary was yesterday.
Oh, was that the thing with the teachers or something?
Something like that. Some sort of space. Yeah, I wouldn't go.
Some
Like
sort-
especially after seeing that in the headlines.
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, the first time I went skiing back in like 2011, the day before on the news, there was like a ski lift accident where people
wow.
it threw them off. And the next day I was going skiing for the first time and I was like, I'm not going on the ski lift. I'm going to walk up that mountain on my own. And
In your skis?
in my skis. And then I attempted like 3 feet. I was like, yeah, we'll take the ski lift. We'll risk it.
But did it go
break,
well?
Thankfully.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I'm here today. So
Yeah. Gosh,
it went
Proud
well.
of you.
Thank you.
when it comes to vacation, I don't know because I'm not much. I don't want to say I'm not a vacation person because I am. It's just I don't have much experience vacationing because in my family in the past 10 years we've went on vacation twice. Just because we've always had dogs, so we can't really go anywhere. For me, when I look at vacation as going to visit family. I don't look at planning to
Yeah.
go somewhere for a week. So,
That's the same with mine.
I mean, when people ask me where do you want to go on vacation, I really don't know.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
I mean,
I feel that.
this summer I'm going to Disney with my girlfriend and her family, which it'll be a lot of fun. I'm actually really excited for it, but I feel like she doesn't know that I'm as excited as I am just because I haven't known how to react. Like I'm super excited because I love Disney, and I told her I'm bringing an autograph book for the characters, everything, and it's like inside, like my inner kid's like bouncing up and down, but outside I'm just like, yeah, that'll be fun.
Until you get there and it's like 110 degrees.
I will be perfectly okay. I'll bring sunscreen as long as I'm with her and her family. I'll be super happy. So,
I totally understand that though. My family's the same way. Like really the only vacations we really ever took was to see family or go see friends. But we go to a lot of sports games, and for me that's really my idea of a vacation is
Really?
just going to a bunch of games. But it's interesting that you bring up Disney World because I feel like that's like if you ask all the like Americans,
Anybody.
I think that's like the most valued vacation is Disney World.
Well, that
like
and
that seems like the
Universal.
one everyone goes. That's true.
I've
Okay.
never been. Has anyone been to
No,
Universal?
I went to Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and I think those were the only two I went to.
I have never actually been to Disney World, which is really weird. I know.
Okay, that could
I'm
be
sure there's a lot of people though that haven't been.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
that could be our morning show vacation. Just after this segment, let's just
Let's
get in
just
the car and
let's
go.
just go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to
14
class
hours.
anyway.
It's not that bad of
I
a
don't
drive,
care
right?
to go to class or anything.
Okay, about Florida. This just took a hard left. Is it? I've been told the further, because I know you said you're from Tampa. So,
Yes.
is it true the further south you go in Florida, the more north it gets?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Florida is just where all like the rich old New Yorkers retire. It's not
That
even
makes
really
sense.
a southern. I guess like northern Florida, like when you get closer to the Florida Georgia line, like the band. It's probably a lot more southern. But yeah, like where I was from in Tampa, it's more northern, and like Orlando, I'm sure is really northern.
For sure.
Okay, when you said Florida Georgia Line, that made my heart skip a beat because that's one of my favorite bands. But all right, anyway,
I
You a
can't do country.
music.
I like modern country music a lot more than the old country music. My
Wait,
roommate
what's the
does.
difference between modern and old? Because all the
No,
songs
he's got a
sound
point.
the same.
He's got a point.
The old country music is very traditional sounding with the fiddles, the banjos.
The
It sounds a lot
fiddles.
slower.
I hate
and then
modern country.
the modern country has a lot more of the hip hop vibe to it. It's just like because a lot of the
It's-
artists are around my age or about 10 years older, so they incorporate a lot of the stuff that they grew up on, and they grew up in the 90s. A lot of them did, so they incorporate that pop vibe that they grew up with into it.
You know, incorporating all their life experiences with their truck and the jeans and the girl and the night sky and the Sam Adams and
I feel like you're absolutely right, though. I feel like all the country music is the same.
It is
I
to
can't
an
stand
extent.
it. I can't stand country accents. I can't do it.
I remember when I was younger, just because of where I grew up, it was a strange hybrid of a country accent because
I kind of hear it.
I don't think that I do, especially when I came to Liberty. It changed a lot because I'm a speech communications major, so I give professional presentations and all of that sort of stuff. So if I walked in slurring my words and like talking like some hick, like it would just be no, it would not sound professional. And that when doing radio, unless I was doing it in a small town where the town was the only people that listened to the station, it just doesn't work, I don't think.
Yeah, I've heard like a lot of actors and people that have to talk for other people to listen a lot of times try to drop their accent, especially like international people, because if you talk to them like off a broadcast or something like that,
How do
they
you
have
drop an accent though? Is it just like you're aware of like how you talk or do you have to like try to emulate like a different accent? Does
I
that
don't
make
understand
any
how
sense?
all these British actors. It's funny because you see them in movies and they have like American accents, and then you'll watch like an awards ceremony where they get an award, and like Christian Bale has a British accent.
Holland.
Yes, Tom Holland. I did not know he was British.
They have trainers actually.
That's crazy.
Really?
They have trainers that teach them how to speak because. Did any of you see American Sniper with Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
No.
It was a great movie, but he was emulating the character Chris Kyle, I think was his name, and he had a personal linguist trainer come on the set of the film and teach him how to speak with a Southern Texan accent. And because Bradley Cooper's from Maryland, I think it is, so he has a very Yankee type accent, and he was speaking very Southern. He said that it was really difficult for him to learn how to talk like that and everything. So it was just something pretty interesting.
Yeah, they've got to have people to train them because I don't know how you would just be able to pick up. That's why, like, impressionists, I forget who it is, but there's a guy who does, like, hundreds of Disney characters. Like, he does an impression of them all, and it's on YouTube, and it's really, really cool.
I thought you were talking about the Looney Tunes guy, but you're not. Okay, Amy, let's hear the best British accent you have right now. Ready?
You're on the spot now.
British accent.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Let's hear it.
Give me something to say.
It
Top
can't
of the
be
morning
like
to you.
no, it can't be like that. No, give us your intro for the morning, into a segment in a British accent.
Okay.
Or do the outro.
No, my outros are really cringy. I'm trying to work on those. Intro. I can't even remember what a British accent is now that I have to think about it. Like
the first thing that pops in my head is Australian accent.
I just think of like tea and crumpets, like something like
there
that.
There you go.
Sure, that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Tea and crumpets.
It's funny because I love like
snaps.
period dramas, like from 1800s Britain.
Have you seen
so
Downton
I watch them.
Abbey?
I haven't.
Okay, you should watch that
People
one.
tell me to watch that because they said
If
I
you
would
like
it.
period dramas, I would recommend
like
it.
the Pride and Prejudice and all the Jane
Yeah.
Austen movies. I really
Yeah.
like. So the fact that I
Aren't
should
those, like-
be able to
Jane
just have a
Austen.
British accent by now, but
Yeah.
Aren't those like many hours long? Is that a right sentence? Did I say that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't those like really long movies?
They are. They're like all the BBC TV series are like 4 hours. I think Pride and
Yeah.
Prejudice might be 6 hours.
Yeah, that's why I said Pride and Prejudice. Once you said that, I was like, that is a
It's
long
really
film.
good though. Colin Firth is really good in that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the whole thing, so.
It's good. But anyway, our last day of this was actually yesterday, but we're gonna also move it today because I think it's great. Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. Outside of obviously like Memorial Day and Labor Day, I think this is one of the greatest appreciation days of the year.
Did you know that in Walmart they've got the giant tubes of bubble wrap that you can get now for about $20?
For $20, we're college students.
Yeah,
Josh.
I was like,
we
I
don't
was-
have $20.
I was
But hey-
expecting something like.
I was expecting 20 cents,
cents.
and then you
Yeah.
throw dollars at
'cause
the end of it.
That roll of bubble wrap is
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
it weighs like 30 pounds. I mean,
Would
it's
that last?
huge.
If it
That's
lasts
pushing
a
it.
whole year of just like a stress ball kind of thing.
It
bubble
depends
wrap.
on how
Go
much you
into
use
it
it.
together with a friend or two.
We should all invest. There's 4 of us. Let's all put $5 on the
We'll,
table.
$7.
we'll
Buy
become
some
an
bubble wrap.
ASMR radio station just with the popping.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's do
ASMR.
it.
I was literally thinking about this last night. And
Don't tell me you like it.
I hate it.
Okay.
I think anyone who enjoys listening to random strangers tapping against stuff and like whispering gibberish has something seriously wrong with them. I'm
It gets
sorry.
millions of views though on
Okay.
YouTube. It's
I feel I've never heard of this. What is this?
okay. So my
You want to give her a sample?
no. So my
It's like
girlfriend.
Morse code, but radio. That's what I'm getting.
No, my
No.
girlfriend and her parents and I, we watched this. I think we watched it with her sister and brother-in-law too. But no, her sister and brother-in-law, they weren't there at the time. But it's a video where this girl will get on YouTube and it's about 4 hours long and she's whispering the entire time real quietly, and she just takes random objects like glass vase and stuff and just real lightly just taps against the microphone and makes this real, and that's what people listen
Why?
to
For
to go to
4
bed.
hours?
Yeah.
That's what people listen to
That
to go
would
to
be
sleep.
No,
creepy.
it's really creepy
That sounds like
because
the start to a horror movie.
they do like silent whispering, which is like you like mouth words without like saying anything, and you just hear like the mouth noises. It's the worst thing. But it's a big thing. Like
crazy.
so many people
Do
actually
people
listen.
know about like instrumental piano and violin
That's what I
music?
Exactly.
My gosh.
It's weird.
It's
It really
really
is crazy.
How did we come to ASMR again? I think I mentioned
From
it.
bubble wrap.
Oh, bubble wrap.
Yeah, that could be the
This-
new ASMR.
Wow.
That would be a very disruptive ASMR.
Yeah.
I'm upset by people watching these 4-hour videos. So we're
Yeah.
going to have to go ahead and take a break. But when we come back, we're going to have our I Respect That segment where we respect something that happens in the news. This is Unstoppable by Red. All right, guys, welcome back in the 90.9, and someday I'll get those numbers right. 90.9 The Light Studios for your Get Up and Go show. So this is the time of the day where we respect something, and if we respect it, we say, I respect that. So we have like a kind of goofy one and then a more serious one. So we'll start off with the goofy one. So this headline is Local Man Saves Woman with CPR That He Learned from Television's The Office.
Oh no.
Respect.
Have you guys seen The Office clip
my real
of the CPR?
My real question is, did he sing "Stand Alive"?
Wow,
That's
he
what I need
did
to know.
it. That's
Yeah.
very true.
That is true.
Do you
Yeah.
remember
He
that
should.
episode?
I do remember that episode. So for everyone that hasn't seen the Office clip, they actually show this like at my school when we're talking about CPR. So someone in the office, Stanley, has a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
And so they decide, the HR department decides that the other employees should be trained in CPR in case another incident like that happens where someone stops breathing and they need CPR. And so there's, I forget the beat count. It's like, I should
It's
know
30
this.
beats, I'm pretty
30
sure.
beats, something like that. Actually, let's look that up.
I
CPR.
think it's 30 beats. They might have changed it. It's 30 beats and then 2 breaths.
I still live by the "Stand Alive."
Or 60
Okay,
beats, like one
it's
per.
30. It's start CPR with 30 chest compressions before giving 2 rescue breaths. Okay, so you're
Okay.
right. And it's at a rate, the compressions are at a rate of 100 to 120 a minute. So what they tell you is to do it to the rhythm of music. And the song that they chose is Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, right?
That was
And
the one that they.
so they're all singing like Staying Alive, and they're trying to do like practice the chest compressions on the doll, and then they all just get distracted and start doing karaoke.
Yep.
And so like in a way though, that is a good way to teach, like, I guess it's more unconscious, but if you think about that, like, oh, like I learned that in a mockumentary, like that is kind of cool though, that he was able to save a woman's life through that.
That is pretty cool.
That's a really cool way to have done that, honestly.
I respect that.
Absolutely. I mean, they say television rots the brain, but I guess in this case it saves a
Saves
life.
lives.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
true.
All right, so the second one, the more serious one. So there was an Air Force veteran, no family at all. He actually passed away, I think, a little bit over a year ago, but they postponed the funeral because they didn't think anyone was going to show up. So the cemetery called for people to attend the funeral of the fallen Air Force veteran, and there's actually a photo. Obviously, the listeners can't see it, but there's like there's a line of hundreds and hundreds of cars like outside of the funeral, and like thousands of people showed up. This is somewhere in Texas.
That's incredible.
But which is really cool. It is truly tragic. You don't really think of people not having a family. Like I was trying to think of what it would be like to not have a family. Do you guys hear that noise?
Yeah, it sounds
That's
like somebody's
weird.
on like a squeaky
It
chair.
does. It sounds like someone's rolling a cart. Anyway, but yeah, like I get to go. I have the privilege of going home to see my family every night, actually, because they live here close to Liberty University. So I couldn't even imagine not having a family, but that's awesome. Like, just that the community rallied behind that, especially supporting the troops because they fight for our freedom. And that's awesome. That's definitely quite the sacrifice they're making, which is really cool. Not just to appreciate them on like the Memorial Day and the Labor Day, but also every day like that is really awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I respect that.
I respect that.
Yep.
Respect.
So moving on from our respect that, so we're gonna start the hot takes segment today too.
Ooh, yeah.
So we're gonna have a theme, and you're gonna give your hot take on something within that theme. It can be like controversial or unpopular, but it just has to be a take. So our theme today is breakfast foods. So you all have to share your unpopular
This is so not a good
hot
time
take.
to do that because I'm trying to not eat till after my class.
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I love breakfast foods. Oh, a hot take on it?
Yeah, hot take. Unpopular opinion.
The waffles and the rot are really not good.
No.
I'm gonna have to declare
Every
war
day
on
I
you.
hear bad things about the rot.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say about the waffles and the rot, and I was like, okay. Oh, yeah, I don't agree with that. I really can't. I can't vibe with that. I'm sorry.
The eggs are also. At first, I liked them, but
Are you talking about egg soup? Is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
yeah.
Oh no.
It's just like
I
this
just
big
can't
like.
do it anymore. I look at them and I'm like, I really need the calcium. What's in,
They
what's
just
in
have,
eggs
like-
that's productive for you? Is it calcium?
Protein, I think.
Protein. I really need the protein, but I'm gonna get something unhealthy anyway.
Just go to Walmart and pick up stuff for the dorm and just eat breakfast.
It's just
in
like
the
this
dorm.
big trough of just like
Smart.
eggs. It's just like this giant just like
Oh, that's
cake
funny.
of eggs.
It sounds like the rot kind of sounds like a hotel continental breakfast.
Yes. Have
Yeah.
you?
It's
Okay.
basically what you guys are describing.
Side note: have you seen Key and Peele's Continental Breakfast by chance?
I haven't.
Has anybody?
I've heard
No.
of Key and Peele. I've seen a couple videos. I'll
Okay.
have to watch that one.
Well, homework. You all should go home and watch that.
I feel like a lot of us have homework between movies, High
Yeah.
School
Yeah,
Musical,
really. When
Treasure Planet.
I already know spring break. Probably gonna watch all High School Musical movies.
Yeah.
Breakfast. I consider tater tots as something that I could have for breakfast. I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah.
I know tater tots
Potato.
are supposed to be more of
It's kind of like a hash brown.
similar to hash
Yeah.
brown.
Just potatoes in general are a good breakfast food.
Pancakes are really great. That's probably. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd pick though. Pancakes or waffles? What would you guys pick?
Okay,
Or
that's
French
actually
toast.
part of. Okay, you just hit the nail on the head. My unpopular opinion, hot take on breakfast food is that French toast is better than waffles, and waffles are better than pancakes.
I'm gonna have to ask you to sit down, even though you're already sitting down. But
I'll lower my chair a little bit. See, there we go. Now I'm like literally 6 inches from the ground. This is fun.
But-
I feel even shorter than I
okay,
am.
okay. French toast is. I don't.
Slimy?
I just don't like it. Like, what is it?
Oh,
it's
man.
toast. Okay, somebody told me that like they put salt on French toast. Do you agree with that?
No,
Because think of it this way. Okay, do you put salt on eggs?
no, I don't put salt
I
on
do.
anything.
Okay, but here. Okay, so you put salt on eggs, right? So
Yeah.
all French toast is toast dipped in eggs,
Well,
which is then cooked.
Okay,
And then
correction.
so
If you're just dipping bread and eggs, you're
Okay,
doing it wrong.
I'm just saying, but
You need to add the vanilla extract.
You add vanilla
and
extract, you add nutmeg,
You add
you
the
add
nutmeg,
cinnamon,
cinnamon,
you add some milk to make it more creamy,
sugar,
and you add some
definitely.
orange peel to give it an orange flavor.
orange peel.
Yeah, orange
I've never heard of that
zest.
I've
before.
not done that before.
It's good.
I'll have to try that.
It's really good.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that.
Orange zest.
Orange zest.
Now, what toppings when it comes to pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
I
Like,
hate that powder stuff. The powder
The
sugar.
powdered
Blech.
sugar.
I love powdered sugar.
It's just so messy.
I prefer the fruit topping
Really?
over the powdered sugar,
Now, what
but I
about
don't mind
stuff that's
it.
inside of it?
What about
Oh, cream cheese stuffed French toast. Cream
Really?
cheese
That
and
sounds
strawberry
amazing.
stuffed French toast
No.
with strawberry sauce on the top with an orange zest flavoring inside the breading.
Okay, but what about crepes though?
Those are really
crepes are
good.
too thin for me. I have to make 80 of those.
Yeah, exactly. You just make like a big stack of crepes.
Do you remember?
I'd stuff it with cream cheese and strawberry too.
Cream cheese on
Yeah.
crepes.
Yes.
No. No.
I suggested putting cream cheese on pumpkin bread a couple days ago, and some of my friends were like, "That's
Yeah.
disgusting."
That's good.
Cream
It is
cheese on
good.
bagels alone.
I like cinnamon cream cheese a lot. That's
Me too.
I think that's
Cinnamon
really good.
cream cheese.
It's
Okay, I'll
really
agree
good.
that the primary purpose of cream cheese is for bagels.
Yeah.
Definitely, but
Donuts.
there's other things. Donuts and cream cheese?
No, just donuts in
haven't tried
general.
that.
I was gonna say that. That's like just not
Well,
allowed.
there could be a donut with like a cream
Well,
cheese related spread
have,
to
you,
it.
have you heard of? I think it's called a cream. No, it's sour cream. No, I don't know. Is
cream
it
puff?
is it a cream cheese donut or a sour cream donut? I think it's a sour,
Sour
cream.
cream.
donut.
It's definitely not a cream cheese donut.
It's definitely a sour cream.
Yeah, it's
donut.
definitely not a cream cheese donut. Yeah, I got my It's a little early. Good morning, folks.
Do you guys like cream cheese wontons? The Chinese food? Have you ever had those?
Are you talking about it's like a fried triangular
Yeah.
shape and has the cream cheese
Yeah.
stuffed inside of it?
That
Those
would
are
be
amazing.
a wonton.
Those are really good.
I hate them. I don't
Why?
like them. My brother likes them. I don't really like fried food that much.
Really?
Have you ever had fried Oreos?
Yes, and they're nasty.
Hey, well,
They're so bad.
No.
hats off to you
I don't
for.
think we've agreed on anything
No.
today. Because TRBC has their, I forget what they call it, but it's like a 4th of July kind of celebration,
Yeah.
and they do the fireworks, and they bring in all the food trucks, and I think they had fried Oreos one year, and I tried them there,
You
and I
find them
wasn't a big
nasty,
fan.
though.
I
Oh
don't
my
even,
goodness.
I'm not a big French fry person either.
Oh wow.
Or like mozzarella sticks, kind of, sometimes.
Well, hey, I mean that's definitely the healthier route to go. So hats off to you.
Yeah, actually, big facts.
I just make up for it with eating other junk food that's
Yeah.
not fried.
Like pizza.
What about you?
Bread.
What about you, Jeff? Have you tried fried Oreos?
I have tried fried Oreos. They're good. It's not something that I'd eat every single day, but
Well,
every
I'd
once in a
hope
while
not.
it's good to have. But
Have any of you guys tried fried ice cream before?
That's
no.
so pointless to me. It's so.
Isn't that kind of just going backwards? Like, is it hot or cold?
No, it's
How
like.
do they even fry ice cream?
Well,
That's
I
the
think
real
they
question.
freeze it and then they like dunk it and then it's just like
It's fried.
yeah.
So they'll freeze it and they'll dump it in a pancake type batter immediately,
Oh,
and then they pop it
okay.
into the fryer. So it's basically a frozen ball, and then it.
What? I
fries
feel like
and-
there's no purpose to
I
that.
don't
Exactly.
understand
Okay,
it.
It's
we
actually
found
really
some
good,
common
though.
Really?
ground.
What
Yeah,
flavor
I
did you
worked
try
at a
it with?
sushi restaurant and we had tempura fried ice cream, and it was actually like amazing, and it was beautiful to look at too. So, I think it's worth a try.
It's worth a
Now,
try.
does that
but
count as a breakfast food?
No,
I guess technically anything can count as a breakfast food
yeah.
because it's not like you couldn't eat something in the morning.
Well, have y'all ever like seen like the outrageous things that Denny's has in like their pancakes sometimes?
I've been there
Like
only
what?
once.
No.
So
Wait, do you guys not have like Denny's here?
I don't. Do we have
We
a
used
Denny's
to,
here?
I
I feel like I
think.
should know that.
we used to have a
we
Waffle
have an
House.
IHOP. We
on the-
have a lot of Waffle Houses
Denny's
now.
and IHOP.
I don't think we have
It's
Denny's.
like really similar, I would say.
I can't stand IHOP in Lynchburg. The services here is awful.
Really?
My
Have-
girlfriend
We're
and I
making
went
enemies,
there.
man.
Has anyone heard of Perkins before?
I've heard of it.
no.
That was like the Florida version of Denny's and IHOP.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
Never heard of it. But with breakfast food, okay. Does cold pizza count as breakfast
Yes.
food?
I was gonna
Because I
say
was
that.
Cold
thinking
pizza,
that.
okay. The pizza around here is only good cold.
You
but
think
the
so?
pizza like in Jersey and New York is good hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
New
like
York
pizza
style-
around
New
here.
York pizza is amazing.
What
Look,
about Pizza
I
Hut?
miss pizza back home.
No.
Pizza
Domino's?
No.
Little
Okay.
Caesars.
All terrible.
I
terrible.
lived
terrible.
on-
When you go to Jersey and New York and eat pizza, you don't want pizza down here. This isn't
Big
pizza.
facts.
This is just cardboard with some sauce on it.
But
Okay,
that's
and
good
the
to
rot
me.
pizza is some of the worst.
Yeah,
I feel like we just need to take a trip
Man,
to the
I feel
Rot.
bad. I feel like we're making enemies like right now.
Pizza is
The
pizza
the Rot
regardless.
has some high points. I really like their coffee and cookies.
Yes, their cookies. Like okay,
Depends
so
on
little
the
known
day, though.
fact. Okay, so if since you don't go to the Rot obviously, right?
Right.
So, typically you know, you want to take like cookies back to your dorm or something. There's like a coffee like place where you get coffee right next to it. So what typically a lot of students do, they'll take like a coffee cup because you're not allowed to leave like with food like out of the Rot. They'll like put a bunch of like the cookies, they fit perfectly in the coffee cup, like a big stack of them just into the coffee cup,
Oh my.
and they'll take it out that way. So
I had a friend who got 3 coffee cups. She filled one with noodles, one with cheese, and one with milk, and she went and made macaroni and cheese back at her dorm.
Oh my goodness.
was she?
She
That
carried
is
out.
so creative. I almost commend that.
She literally carried out the ingredients for macaroni and cheese.
That is so funny. I
Yeah.
feel like you guys would be able to have like a little carry-out box or something like that,
Nope.
where you could put food in.
It's technically called stealing.
So, even though we're paying for it. Yeah.
But
It's okay.
Oh man! For anyone that doesn't know, the Rot is the main dining hall at Liberty University, right?
Correct.
basically.
I feel like we need to take a trip to the Rot. I feel like
Yeah.
it has a chance to redeem itself, especially with Seafaw coming up in
Yes,
a couple
true.
weeks, right?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That just like Seafaw, they really like vamp up everything. So, yeah.
Well, maybe we'll give the Rot a chance. All right, guys, this is "Look to You" by Stars Go Dim, featuring Social Club of Misfits. All right, guys, welcome back into the 90.9 The Light Studio for the Get Up and Go show. So, guys, I've come to the amazing realization that we all are nerds in here, and we all like superhero stuff, which is really comforting to hear, because I'm a nerd about a lot of movies and stuff like that, so I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So, you guys watch a lot of the Netflix superhero TV shows, right?
Yes. Well, I watched a little bit. Yeah.
I just recently got into the whole Netflix phase because for the longest time I told myself I was never going to get into watching series and stuff on Netflix because I just felt like it was a waste of time. And then my girlfriend and I watched a show called You over Christmas break, and I got into that show, and we ended up watching the entire season in like 2 days or 3 days. So after that, I've been more into watching those, and I just started watching The Punisher, which I've been a really big fan of because I like that he's not technically a superhero, but I like that Marvel character, and it's really cool.
It's
interesting.
Marvel.
It is Marvel.
Oh, gotcha. I don't even like know that like Marvel had a TV thing going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I watched like some of like the DC stuff, like The Flash, and The Flash. That's pretty much it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
What about Arrow? Did you watch that?
Oh, I did watch a little bit of Arrow because they had like crossover episodes
Yeah.
between The Flash and Arrow. And so they'd have like one episode, like continuation on a different show. So you had to go watch it on the other show. So
There was the show Supergirl too, though.
yeah.
I
okay.
think that's not on Netflix though, isn't that
no,
on TV?
I think it's.
like,
I forget what channel it is. It's
Yeah,
CW
it's actually
or
on
something.
TV.
The only reason I watched some of that show is because there's an actor on it named Jeremy Jordan, and he played Jack Kelly in Newsies on Broadway, and I'm a big fan of that show. So
It's a
I
good
went and I saw
soundtrack.
Supergirl, some of it anyway.
How was it?
It was all right. I was really just there for him, but like
Really?
you know,
Yeah.
I was fangirling a bit.
Gotta support your favorite actors.
Yeah.
That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
What about you? So you haven't, Amy? You haven't seen like anything on Netflix for like the superhero shows?
I haven't. I try not to be a big. I'm really not a big television series person. Like, because we were talking about Stranger Things.
Yes.
And I quit after 4 episodes because it
kills
got
me.
boring to me. I can sit down for like a 2 to 3 hour movie, not 4 or 5 hour uncut extended Lord of the Rings 3 movies, but I like knowing like the resolution kind of at the end of the movie. So for Stranger Things, it's like a kid gets kidnapped and it's like some kind of monster. But by the 4th episode, I still didn't figure out. And they're long episodes too. They're like 40 to 50 minutes.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
the thing about it is like you were saying, there's no like real payoff in at least the first season for each episode. You just kind of find out a little bit more, and it like eventually builds to like the end of the series, obviously being like the climax where you understand everything. But like once you just have to like kind of suffer through it for a little bit till you get there, and then like when you look back on it, you're like, wow, that was a good series.
See, I can't do that. The only series I've been able to like wait till the very end for something is Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. That's the only series that has been able to hold my attention.
Those are long episodes. Each one of those is like a movie.
Oh yeah, it really is. I
Yep.
think there's only like 12 total though.
Yeah, but they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Like there's so much content
They're
in
so
each of
good.
them. Have you seen the Sherlock series?
I have not.
Oh, it's
I never
good.
got into Sherlock that much.
It's really good. Speaking of Sherlock, have you guys heard of the Holmes and Watson movie?
I heard about
It went pretty much straight to the discount theater.
Yeah.
I thought about seeing it, and then I was like,
It has
"Ugh."
a grand 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It looked
0%.
horrible.
a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
My friend had brought me into the theater to go see it, and I had no prior knowledge of it. She said, "Yeah, this is gonna be a great movie." So I went, and I was like, "What did I just see?"
So you can confirm that it deserved the 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know about a 0. I thought it had
3.
like I have like
Over
a really
under.
stupid sense of humor.
Don't we all?
But so I found it kind of funny.
Okay.
But it was definitely.
Do you like the Will Ferrell kind of humor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't mind it, but it definitely wasn't great. Back to TV shows though. Yeah, so Sherlock is a really great series. Definitely a different style than the whole Holmes and Watson kind of thing. But yeah, each one of them is like an hour and a half, so each one is like a little mini movie.
It's
but I
really
definitely
good.
recommend.
It's disappointing to hear that I almost called him John Watson, the actor Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch apparently don't get along very well.
Really?
So I'm not sure if season 5 will happen. I'm not sure they really need season 5.
I thought they finished.
They pretty much did, but there's always a way to bring people back and
Yeah.
to extend the story.
My question is, why is it always like Sherlock and Watson? Because it's Sherlock Holmes and John Watson. Like that's his last name, but they call Sherlock by his first name. I know that's like a really weird thing to think about, but
That's true.
why?
I don't
These
know.
are the questions that
These
we should be asking.
These are the questions.
These are the questions.
Absolutely.
This is the 9:20 questions that we, in the morning.
So, question about The Flash. So, I went and saw Justice League. Unfortunately, I cannot believe I paid for a movie ticket. I will never probably pay for a DC movie ticket ever again after that and Suicide Squad. So, the Asian actor who plays the Flash in Justice League, is he the same Flash?
no, because he's
Okay.
definitely not Asian.
Okay.
Yeah, that was gonna say he's not Asian.
So is it like the same character with the same storyline but a different actor, or is it like a whole nother plot line that's not
I'm
connected
not sure.
to the
That's why I
movies?
wasn't a huge fan of like DC, like their cinematic universe,
Mm-hmm.
because I said this before, but they always are like switching out their actors. There's just no consistency, like especially with the Spider-Man. Like they changed it like 3 times.
Three
or
different
something?
times. They had
Yeah,
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield,
And Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's my guy.
He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best Spider-Man.
He is a very good Spider-Man. I don't know. I keep going back to Tobey Maguire just for nostalgia, and that first Spider-Man where it had the Green Goblin, I just can't get past that. That's probably my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Also, it has just occurred to me that I referred to Spider-Man as DC. I apologize. That is a Marvel thing.
A classic mistake.
Yeah, classic.
It's all good. Hey, after a while, the superheroes just kind of blend together anyway. We'll
Yes.
have a Justice League and Avengers team up probably.
No.
I've
no.
thought about that. I would not want to see that, honestly.
I wouldn't
Please
either.
no.
Because DC is kind of, it's darker. There's
a
not
lot
as much
darker.
comedic relief, whereas Avengers is more like kid-friendly and happier.
See,
So they'd have to kind of compromise the styles there.
I don't know, because recently it seems like they're trying to come out with more campy, fun type movies, just like with Aquaman. I heard that Aquaman was very fun and adventurous and good, and Shazam is coming out in April, and I'm actually decently excited to see how that film turns out, because it seems a lot more of a, not Marvel vibe, but a lot more of that comedic action type feel.
See, for me, like when I think of superheroes, I think of just like, if you go back to like the earlier films, like Thor and like the original Captain America, they had like comedic elements.
Yes.
But it was largely like more serious based. I'm typically like a bigger fan of that, and I thought they did it really well. But I feel like after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, they just started to follow that because it was such a big success. I love like the humor in Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was a great movie.
Yes, it was.
And then they just
soundtrack is amazing.
And then they just started like inserting that same kind of humor into like all of like the subsequent like movies, like Thor Ragnarok and stuff.
Yep.
So I mean, like in some cases I like it. In other cases, I'm just a little iffy about it.
With Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I was actually really disappointed in that movie.
I cannot stand that movie.
I haven't seen the second one.
I
The
hated
villain,
it.
they very much underplayed the villain, and they could have done so much better with the plot line in general. They had a good idea on where to go, but they executed it very poorly, and probably the last 15 minutes of the movie were the best parts of the movie,
Oh,
just
man,
due
that's
to
too
what
bad.
happened to the characters.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Infinity War kind of ruined the character development for all the Guardians too. Like I think they're all pretty much boring now.
Infinity War, I thought it was very that's probably one of my favorite Marvel movies. Just
Really?
Because, well, they combined everything. I mean, it'd been building up to this for 10 years.
Right.
And they finally combined everything. They had
Doesn't
Thanos.
feel like it.
Thanos was a phenomenal villain.
I
I thought so because
no.
I think he was pretty good. I liked him.
Really? I didn't.
it's because the reason I say that is because while he is immensely villainous and sick and twisted, at the same time you see him going through his struggles and his feelings and emotions as he's going through with it, because in his mind he feels that what he's doing is right and just.
That's true. I think I prefer the villains like the Joker that are just kind of chaotic
So the
Yeah.
for
more
kind of no
crazy-
reason. And yeah, they're a little bit witty. I kind of like that style
Really?
more than actually having like a really good motivation like he does.
No, when it comes to Marvel, this isn't directly Marvel Studios, this is Sony, but my biggest disappointment with anything superhero related last year was Venom. Did you see that movie?
I did not.
My
no.
roommate
Yeah.
saw it, but he liked it, but I didn't think it was that good.
I had my hopes up because Venom is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, and I was immensely excited to finally get to see a better version of him on the big screen. And the action that they had was good, but there was a lot of plot holes in the movie, and Venom is a very dark character, and they could have made it into a Dark Knight type of vibe to where it was very serious and dark and a lot of character development, but instead they tried to make it comedic, and there were just a lot of times where Tom Hardy's acting felt like it was forced, and it was good, but at the same time I hope that it can be better with the sequel that they have.
So do you think that it was the writing or the script or the acting?
It was
or what
not-
was the main issue?
The main issue,
Or just the vibe in general?
the main issue for me, I'd say it wasn't. I wouldn't blame Tom Hardy because he's a phenomenal actor. I'd blame more of the screenwriting
Okay.
and the directing.
So how was that show set up in the sense that, like, how do you make the protagonist like a bad guy per se? Like how because typically in movies it is like the good versus evil, whether how you look at it, the good guy versus the bad guy. Like how was that set up?
Well, see, in this film, without giving anything away, he wasn't a villain by any means. He was just an anti-hero. He was not
Yeah.
someone that you would consider a hero. He was doing what he felt needed to be done for the better good of other people. It's just no one really saw that. It didn't really
Okay,
involve
I see what you
people.
mean. Yeah.
It was basically just an average human like Venom versus a greater force.
That's fair.
And that was basically it.
Without telling too much. Yeah.
Some movies that, like you said, that the protagonist and the villain are actually decent. Like, this is so childish. Have you guys seen Megamind?
Yes.
I love that movie. It is so funny.
I'm a
That
really
was
big
a good
fan.
movie.
It was. I love it.
Huge
Will
fan.
Ferrell. That might be Will Ferrell's best movie besides Elf.
Besides, I was gonna say
I don't want to
besides
start
Elf.
the Elf controversy because I know a lot of people don't like it and a lot of people
You don't
really
like
like
Elf?
it, and there's no in between. See, people either love it and they're willing to die on that hill, or they hate it.
I don't know if I'm
and
willing
don't
to
even
die
wanna
on the hill,
speak
but I
of
mean,
it.
like, I like the movie.
Yeah, I could never get into that movie. I tried, it just didn't suit me. But a lot of other people like it, so I don't say anything. I don't have
Yeah.
anything negative to say.
So if
Girls-
you could pick a superhero movie to watch forever, what would it be? Like your favorite?
Like you have to watch it like every day, or like
No,
what do you mean?
like just. I phrased that bad. What's your favorite movie, basically?
Okay.
Like, if you could only watch one superhero movie for the rest of your life, like, what would you watch?
I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
No, you go for it. Go for it.
Both of you.
There's so many great ones, but I would have to go back to the original Spider-Man from 2002 with Tobey Maguire.
Is that's like
this
the
is
WWE ring kind
yes,
of thing?
that was the
Okay.
origin story of Spider-Man. That was the older version of Peter Parker,
Okay.
not the one where
now
he's
does
15.
that
been a
count as
while
like the
since I've
3
seen that.
movies or just like the original?
The original.
Like,
I'd
okay.
watched the whole series, honestly, because aside from Spider-Man 3, while it had
Yeah.
it was kind of iffy and there were some villains that didn't need to be there, the series as a whole I still adore, just because of the Harry Parker and Peter Parker, or the Harry Osborn and Peter Parker conflict back and forth throughout the movies, and the
Yeah.
Mary Jane stuff going throughout the movies. I just really liked that aspect of it. But
Yeah.
the first one, that'd be the movie. If I could pick one superhero movie to watch forever, that'd be it.
All right, Garrett. Now you're on the spot.
Ooh, this would have probably been a good time when he was talking for me to think of something. Okay. I'm just going to say one on the spot. I really liked the original Thor. I really did like that movie. It was just like a really good movie in terms of like redemption, and it was also funny, and I think it did like a really good justice as to like portraying what Thor is. So yeah. What
That
about
movie
you?
gets trashed a lot, but I really like it.
Wait, really?
I like the first one. The second one is bad. The
was
Dark
very
World.
Yes, yes.
That movie is terrible. I can't get through more than 5 minutes of it. But
What about you?
it's definitely not a DC movie. Honestly, it's probably the original Avengers movie. I really like
that
that
was a
one.
really good movie.
I don't know if it's just like a comfort kind of thing. Like we talked about the High School Musical. Is it really quality, or do we just like it because we liked it when we were younger? But honestly, I think the original Avengers is a really good movie.
I agree.
Me too.
All right, Josh, you got to go to class, right?
Yep.
What class?
Psychology of Marriage and Family.
Wow.
So
I'll call you when I'm married.
should be interesting.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end the Get Up and Go show today, but we'll be back on Thursday. You guys gonna be back?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good. Can't wait. All right, this is Wide Place by Lady.